All right, Hula Kulers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever you're listening to this piece. Yeah, today we are coming to just have a discussion on just a few items. And we are not going to waste much time here. I want to set the record straight. Yeah, these days there has been some trend that has been going on across the social media platforms, and now uninformed, Madridistas, they are spewing, and then they are there is some agenda they are trying to agenda, but the agenda is not agending, and we are here to clarify those things. Now, before we get into business, I want to clarify something. You see, there is this narrative that Barcelona doesn't have money, Barcelona doesn't have money, Barcelona is bankrupt, Barcelona is a fallacy. They are all lies. And if you really want to know, do your own research and you understand what they mean by Barcelona cannot sign this player, or Barcelona cannot register this player. You don't just sit somewhere, you listen to somebody sit somewhere and tell you that, oh, Barca doesn't have money, then you take it hook, line, sink. No, things don't work like that. Look, Barcelona is one of the clubs in world football that generates like very high or very huge revenue. The revenue that Barcelona raises in the calendar year, football calendar year, very few clubs in this world can match up. So don't let anybody lie to you. Sit somewhere in his corner or her corner and tell you that Barcelona doesn't have money. It's not true. Now, when it comes to the La Liga restrictions, everybody has been affected in the league. Take, for instance, Sevilla. Look at what is happening to Sevilla. So those guys that enjoy this thing is the Madrid guys. You see, it all started from when Tebas wanted to impose the CVC deal on Barca. Now, to be honest, Laporta almost signed that deal, and that was why he even promised Messi everything. And then later on, it was drawn to even it was Madrid. Perez drew his attention to the fact that it's a trap. He should go through the CVC deal, and then after everything, Laporta declined. He said he will not sign it, and that was where the misunderstanding between La Liga and Barcelona started. So they started trying everything possible to sabotage Barcelona. That was when they said we couldn't register Messi and our struggle started. But then Madrid was already far gone. But Madrid rejected it, Barcelona rejected it. And you know, in La Liga, when these two clubs says no, the rest of the clubs will not want to also partake in those things. So that is exactly why that particular restriction or those particular restrictions are so hard on Barcelona. And you think Barcelona is an arrowhead. Whatever happens, they see Barcelona. But the other clubs, they also experience it. They are struggling. So when you sit somewhere and say Barcelona doesn't have money, I laugh. I laugh. You see, when Laporta took over, there was this restriction in La Liga. They called it 1:4. That is how bad things were. So this 1:4, you see, for instance, you have 100 million euros. 100 million euros, you are supposed to divide the 100 million euros into 4 times. And out of the 4 times, it is only one part of the 100 million you've divided into 4 times that you are eligible to spend. So you can even sell a player for 100 million euros, but you are not allowed, per the rules of La Liga that have been imposed on the club, you are not allowed to spend the entire 100 million euros you've generated. So that is what it means. Barca can generate the biggest revenue in the world, but then we are not allowed, per the rules of La Liga, to spend that amount of money. So that is what the 1:4 rule means. We moved from the 1:4 to 1:3. And just recently, just a few days ago, we were able to get back to the 1:1 rule, and people still don't understand. I was listening to ESPN, and it's like these guys have an agenda against the club. They said in 6 months' time, Barca will still be in this kind of story, probably with a different player, like not Dani Olmo, maybe a different player. But I just don't understand this. Barca just announced that we are back to 1:1 rule. What you don't understand is that this 1:1 rule is when we have 100 million euros, we are allowed to spend the entire 100 million euros. So no capping here. No capping here. Don't let anybody sit somewhere and tell you that Barca doesn't have money. How many clubs in the world of football can? My God, is it because we've moved out of Camp Nou? Stadium revenue alone, stadium revenue alone is something to write home about. Not talk of sponsorship and other deals. Moving away from that, I want us to talk about this Vinícius issue. Now, somebody aggressively attacks a different player, like a goalkeeper, and what do we hear? After several deliberations, we hear that he's been given a too much suspension and some fine. You laugh. Madridistas are worried. They are insulting that Barca fans. You say we rule the league, we control the league. Why couldn't we get rid of this particular ruling? But what you don't understand is that some things are not avoidable. So the mere fact that you've been able to get too much suspension, that is the least punishment you can ever get from La Liga. Why? Because it is so clear and vivid to the point that it cannot be escaped. So they have to do something to represent something as if they are working. But no. Come to think of it, Hansi Flick, how many matches was he given? He was given a 3-match ban. And funny enough, if you can't remember his offense, let me remind you guys. He walked out of the technical area. He walked out of the technical area. And he was given a 3-match ban. Something that Ancelotti, Diego Simeone, they do for a living, walking out of the technical area. There are videos and clips to this to buttress my argument. Ancelotti can even leave the technical area and be arguing with referees, officials. Yet nothing will be done. He wouldn't even be shown a card, not to talk of being banned. Lewandowski was... What happened to Lewandowski? He touched the nose. Then just because he threw the hand like this, suspension. My God. I don't even want to talk much about it. Just look at yesterday. What two hands on Gavi. It's a like foul cry. No penalty. But somebody will just put their hand in the armpit. Somebody will fall. It's a penalty. It's a foul. These are the things we were not even bothered. We are getting used to it. These are some of the things we keep complaining about. So if you get to taste it small and you think they are being harsh on you, let me remind you that this is probably the least punishment you can get. This is the least punishment you can get. Let's be realistic. Let's tell each other the truth. Let me not waste time on this. I want to move to this Dani Olmo issue. This Dani Olmo and Power Victor. You see, this is a temporal... it's just a permit. It's a temporary permit that was given to Barcelona to register Power Victor and Dani Olmo. Well, the finals, they are eligible to play, so they could play. They could also start from the bench. Either way, but it's a temporary one. The case isn't done. They are still working on it, and then when the court case is finalized, I think we'll have a better understanding of the whole issue, because Barca presented over 50 pages of documents to them to go through and what have you and those things. We'll still wait on them. I don't think it's going to be an easy thing, but it hasn't been easy for Laporta and his team. And I think they are doing something great for the club. But Bartomeu actually messed up the club. I think Laporta still has my support. I pray and hope that other coolers across the globe will understand what Laporta is doing. Every government has challenges. So the same thing with Laporta. He has his own mistakes and flaws and those things, but that doesn't mean we should judge him by those flaws. No. What about the good things that he's been doing for the club? He's managed to take us from 1:4 to 1:1. And it's a plus. I'll see you again. Coolers. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.